is happening, everybody? I know it's been a long-ass time, and I apologize for that. I'll get to that in a minute. Welcome back, Episode 6, The Joz of Life. Alright, guys, first things first. So, you guys haven't heard from me in a while. Episode 5 ran a month-ish, maybe a little more ago. And after that, you guys, hadn't really heard much from me. Life just got really busy, and that's how that works. I'm a middle coach in high school baseball with my boys at Lancaster. I was training for my fight, which I'll get to in a second. Running things with my New Era boys, and finishing up like football sessions, and there's just been a lot going on. And just things that I had to focus on. Haven't had time to cut one of these. So we're back. We're doing it. I got some big news for everybody. I got some rants and raves to go on about. A lot of this stuff is going to be, at least one of the sessions, or one of the segments, we'll call them segments, will be a little rant from yours truly. But, yeah, so first things first, as you guys know, back in April, I had an MMA title fight, and I worked my ass off. I trained, and as the fight game goes, didn't go my way. I was fighting a guy, big, strong son of a bitch, probably one of the hardest hitters I've ever seen. Guy was he's a fucking monster. There's no other way to put it. We're friends on Facebook, and everybody knows I blow up Facebook with these things. So, John, if you watch this, my brother, fantastic fight, man. Congratulations. Wear that belt proud, bro. Obviously, I wanted to take home the win, wanted to take home the belt. Wasn't my night. John caught me clean, walked me back into the cage, got the TKO win. 44 seconds the first round. Most people are like, oh, why would you say that? Make people look that up. I'm not embarrassed by it. You know what? First and foremost, anybody who talks any kind of shit about anybody who's got the balls to step in a cage, unless you've done it yourself, fuck you. Like, you have no place to speak on anybody that's got the stones to step in and do what we do. Alright, I don't care who you are, where you're from. If you don't have the balls to do it yourself, show respect for the people who do, and keep your goddamn mouth shut. I've heard, not directly, because apparently people just don't have the balls to do that these days, but I've heard some people, have made comments about, me, the fight, whatever. And first and foremost, I will put this out there. If you would like to run your mouth and talk shit, glove up and spar with me. And if you think the guy that I fought was some kind of slouch, I feel free to reach out to him and go through what I went through, because I guarantee you 97% of the people, if not more, wouldn't have the stones to even step in the cage, let alone, put in the effort, the training, the work that it takes to even step in there. And, as the fight game goes, especially against big boys like me and John, it could very easily be one and done. It could be a one shot changes the fight, and with big boys like us, who we're big, we're strong, we throw heavy punches, all it takes is that one. And he got that one before I did. That's what that came down to. But that being said, it's not the last you've heard from me in the MMA world. I will be back. I'll be stronger, bigger, faster, and hopefully next time come out with a better outcome. More updates on things I got going on. My Lancaster boys are in first place currently in ECIC Division 1. We got 2 league games left. If we win both of those, we are the outright ECIC 1 Division champs. That's one of the hardest things to do, I believe. You can get a team that takes, Section 6 in the playoffs. One bad game from a team, in a one and done playoff style. I think the division title shows consistency. I think the division title shows the ability to be good for the duration of a season. being good every day after the season in a one-off playoff. That's tough to do too. But to be consistent over 12 league games and take the championship that way in our division, I think is a very, very important thing, and it's a very tough thing to do. And that being said, looking forward to, we got Orchard Park on Monday, and then we got we got Orchard Park on Friday, Jamestown on Monday, and that Jamestown team, if you go back and look through our record, we handled them pretty well the first time we played them down at their place, and then they came and they got this pitcher who beat Clarence, who knocked us off last night in the bottom of the seventh. So, any given day, it's not a given. We got to fight. We got to work. We're back to work this afternoon, so I'm cutting this, right around noon right now, and at about 2:30 or so, I'll be at the high school getting the boys ready to get back to work tomorrow. I got one more, my New Era boys is the other thing. My flag football team took on another championship. That's what not demeaning that. It's awesome. It's fantastic. It was a fun game. It was a good battle. Had some interesting things happen leading up to it. Like I said, this is just a hopefully no more than 7-minute update on what's been going on and why I haven't been around on what is officially a video blog at this point, or a vlog, not so much a podcast, which I have news on that too. Just why I haven't been around and what I've had going on. So there's your update, and next couple segments here, we're going to get back to doing what I do. Okay, third overall segment. Second segment that's not an introduction, but the first real, full me talking about a topic segment. Okay, let's get one thing straight here. The only person whose approval you need in your life is you. Okay? Recently, I've gone through some things with people who, I'm not going to name names on this one. Alright, with my New Era boys, okay? We've been together for 12 years. Pretty sure 12 years. Alright, when we were maybe 11. But when we were 19, 20, 21, this team kind of started as a collegiate wood bat team. And then we moved to play. We played a year in Canada, and then we've been in AA Muni for a few years. And as recently, these two pictures up here, not last season, but the 2 seasons prior to that, we won. Oops, sorry, hit my desk. The 2 seasons prior to that, we won the championship on a pretty incredible run over the 2 seasons. I think over maybe almost close to 60 games played. I think we only had 6 losses. The first time we won it, we won game 1. And then won everything until game 1 of a best-of-3 series in the championship, and then won the last 2, and then went on a winning streak to mid-season, lost another one, so there's 3, lost a 4th one, and then I think we lost a playoff game in the championship series again. So I think 5 losses over 2 seasons and close to 60 games. It was a pretty impressive run. Last year we had a down year, between different injuries, different commitment issues. I had a young kid playing for me, one of my boys from Lancaster who graduated. He, left. He plays the outfield. He got overused by other teams he was playing on and had some elbow and shoulder issues, so we had to shut him down. Ryan Bonafide, catcher, he caught so many games. His wrist had some issues with swinging and catching and receiving. We had to shut him down. Starting second baseman went out of the area for the New York State Corrections Academy. And we had pitchers go down. It was a rough year, and we ended up obviously not defending our title. And this year we're on the rebuild and we're trying to come back. And first and foremost, commitment. When you talk to somebody man to man like this, and you make a commitment, you should honor that commitment. One of the few things we have on this planet is our word. And there's going to be some people that take exception to this, and I'm not naming names. I'm not calling anybody out. If people know who I'm talking about, then they know who I'm talking about. If it's about you, I'm not calling you out by name because I don't want to start any kind of bullshit or any kind of online battle or anything along those lines. So our first couple games were this past weekend on Sunday. We were supposed to play the weekend prior. So about 14 to 19 days prior to that, I had a kid who came to me and said, I want to play on your team. I know this guy, and I want to play with a good team. I want to play on a team that, knows how to win and is going to compete. I said, look, man, said our squad last year we had a down year, but every year we're, in the top, usually the top 4 at least. I think our worst year we were still in 4th place. And it sounds like we're the type of team you're looking for. Kid comes to practice, orders hats, orders jerseys. By the way, these are one version of our hat this year. They're fucking sweet. Shout out to Debbie Lancelotti and the girls over at Ludka's for the sweet lids. We got another one. I don't have one near me. I'd show it to you. It's basically the same concept, but a little different color scheme. Anyway, all of a sudden, 19 days before, and this dude was blowing up my phone every day. Something about baseball, something about the team, something about playing, practicing, whole 9 yards. And, then all of a sudden, 19 days before we're supposed to start, I get, hey man, so I got on this team in this other league that is affiliated with this other team in your league, and I've kind of been practicing with them, and I'm not going to play for you this year. I'm playing with those guys. Now, a couple issues here. First and foremost, when you haven't played ball in quite a while, and you go and try out and somebody offers you a spot on their team, if you are looking to make a decision to leave, you have a conversation with them before the I'm not playing for you conversation. Maybe bring up some issues, concerns, some things that you have going on. All right? And in this course, I said a few things, and when he got on this other team after joining our team, I just made it clear that, I took you on this team as, as a way, I don't take a ton of guys that play in both leagues because of the commitment issues. 1 for sure, maybe 2 a year. So I basically looked and said, I took you on this team first. The first time you tell me you're missing one of our games to go play for them, as far as I'm concerned, you can stay, because I took you as a full-time commitment to us. So for you to miss because you want to go play for the other team that, wouldn't have even given you a look had you not been on our team first, that bothers me. And I was just being upfront and honest about it, which I told him I was from day one. And for all of you who know me, you know that's the case. If nothing else, I'm honest, and I'm brutally honest about it. So you should have had the conversation. This guy should have had the conversation with me. Hey, look, been kind of hanging out with this team, blah, 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 whatever. Second issue. When this dude had the conversation with the other manager in my league and said, hey, look, I think I'd rather play for you guys than the New Era, blah, 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 whatever. His answer, and I talked to the guy, and what he said was, look, man, it's amateur sports. You got to play to have fun, and, if you're not comfortable on the team you're on, then, you need to make a choice, and however that happens to work out for you, that happens to work out for you, which is great. That's fine. However, as much as he's not wrong there, the answer should have been ... However, we're about 2 weeks from the season. You've committed to play for them. They're planning on you being on their roster. They're planning on you being one of their guys. So you need to have a conversation with Joz and say, look, man, this is what's going on. This is how I'm feeling. And I would like to play with the Devils this year. I would like to play with this other team. Their nickname is the Devils. And at that point, the way this should have worked is it would have been my decision whether or not I was going to release him from my roster and allow him to play on another team, or basically say, look, man, it's so close to the year that I'm planning on you being on part of our team. So the answer is this year, you're either with us or you're with no one, and you can choose to do whatever you'd like next year. I've never actually done that to anybody. Factually speaking, I've never forced somebody to play for me. I mean, there's 2 or 3 other guys in this league that, like, hey man, I was going to play with you. The one guy wanted to know he was going to start at a certain position every day, and the position he wanted to start at, he knew we had another guy starting there. So, it was short time before the season too, and I let him go. I'm not trying to hold anybody back. I'm not trying to hold anybody down or hold anybody off the field for whatever reason. So, just have the conversation. And I should have been a prick about it and been like, well, since you just told me you're not playing for me, my answer should have been, I'm not releasing you. You are going to be on my roster. You owe me money to play. And you're not playing in this league until that money is paid. And if you want to play ball this year, you pay me and play for me. Because that's how it should have worked. But at my core, I'm a nice guy. Now, fast forward, we play that team game 1. They beat us. Flat out, they beat us. And some fun facts about my squad. In the 10 or 11 years that we've existed, we've won on opening day 1 time. It was 2 seasons ago. And it took extra innings because we pissed away a lead. And a 3-run walk-off home run by yours truly after a call that could have went either way, that either could have struck out the guy before me, my boy Taylor, or walked him. It walked him. He got on first. Another guy was already on first, so he went to second. I hit the bomb. Game over. We win. The only time we've done it in team history. It took extras and a walk-off home run. That's just a fact. We don't play well on opening day. We never have. We probably never will. Most guys, we show up tired. We show up hungover because of the stretch of weeks we hadn't practiced in a while. It's just the nature of the beast. It's how things go. Second, we made mistakes. We very blatantly ran ourselves out of at least 4 innings over the course of 2 games, if not more. We made defensive mistakes, forgot people were on base, whatever. We were also down 3 of our top players. None of that's an excuse. If we've been in that position against this team before and we've beaten them. And one of the guys in their team has taken exception to some of the things when player number 1, who bailed on us to play for them, left. I basically said, have fun playing for the slow pitch softball team of the league who's never made a playoff appearance. Because I don't remember if they made a playoff appearance last year, but if they did, it's the only time in their team's existence of 5 years that they've made the playoffs. And usually, if there's 10 teams in the league, top 8 go and the bottom 2 play like a toilet bowl game. And if there's only 9, the 8 and 9 teams play a play-in. So you've been the bottom 1 or 2 of 9 or 10 for 5 years. It's not a knock. It was a brand new team. And unless you walk in with a team of studs, like the team that won the league last year, you're going to struggle your first year. I've struggled my first year running my team. The first year that we existed as a team, the guy who run it, we were, I think those were the 2 years we were the 4th place squad in the league. We had enough to get by, but not enough to do a ton. And we've been pretty successful outside of that. But, in talking to their manager, who I am friends with and who I do have regular discussions with, he has made statements to me like, well, it's tough to win ball games when every year you get 1 or 2 really good players who don't stick around because the rest of your team is just okay. Or last year when we were leaving our home field after playing them at our place, and he said, well, it really sucks that beyond your top 3 or 4, don't mind her, she's crazy. Beyond your top 3 or 4, half the time you're lucky to have guys that can tie their cleats. In a conversation with somebody else with the other guy on his team who was supposed to go to Cooperstown with me, because we're putting a team in a Cooperstown Classic, who now, and I'll get to the rest of this in a minute, he took exception to all those things, despite the fact that those are his own manager's words. A little off topic here. Now, this Cooperstown thing. I find out dude number 2 isn't coming the day that I find out dude number 1 isn't playing for me anymore. Dude number 2 is one of the guys that runs that secondary team I was talking about, that dude number 1 joined that got him to the team in my other team in my league. So, he tells me he can't play because he's busy that weekend and isn't playing in Cooperstown. So I asked him about the couple other guys that he asked to come to play. with us out in Cooperstown because me and Taylor played for him last year, and he tells me he's not sure that I got to talk to them. So I talked to the one. Hey man, you should come to Cooperstown. Yeah, dude, I don't know. Like I don't want to screw you over. This dude texted me, said, "Hey Joz, we're going to Cooperstown with him." 2 days later, hey, we're not going to Cooperstown with Joz anymore. We're going with a different team. So now you're telling me you can't play, but your buddy's telling me you're playing on a different team. See the problem here? I might be an asshole, but at least I'm fucking honest. I don't know, man. I just wish people would grow the fuck up a little bit and be men about something. Have a conversation with me prior to I'm not playing for you. Hey man, look, like we haven't been practicing much. Like I know you've been busy. Like I've been practicing with this other team. Like I've kind of bonded with their boys. Like, I kind of want to play with them. We have a conversation about it. Not just, hey, sorry, but I'm out. That's bullshit. You know what? With after that whole thing, and if you didn't like some of the things I said about you and your team and your boys or whatever, listen, man, I don't appreciate the things you said, so I'm not going to play for you. I'm going to go with this team and, these guys because I'd rather go with them. That's fine. Two other things. Usually when you pay a deposit to play for somebody, that deposit's non-refundable. It's the term deposit. Like, when you go to buy a car or you go to buy a piece of furniture and you put money down, normally you don't get that money back if you later decide not to buy said product. Back in the days of layaway, when you would put some money down, like, hold this for me, I want it. If you decided, like, oh, you know what, I don't want it anymore, they're like, well, sorry, money's gone. But now I got dudes asking for money back. So, all of this aside, I end up, because of the, like, basically I got called out for being an asshole who doesn't give credit where credit is due. Here's your credit. The dude that quit my team to play for the other team had a pretty damn good game against us. Beat out an infield single, laid down a bunt that, he ended up beating out because he put pressure on us to make a play that we didn't make. Guy that was going to come to Cooperstown with me that didn't, had a pretty damn good day at the plate. Their team flat out beat us. And I'm going to lay the gauntlet down right now. As I hope you guys make the playoffs, and I hope we see you in the playoffs. Because we're going to take those bats and we're going to shove them up your ass. Because our day one squad isn't our best squad. Usually our later day squads are our better squads. And we'll see you there, fuckers. Alright, last segment here. Here we go. Stemming off this previous segment, where I kind of went off on a little tangent there. Some of the things that were said by those, at least one of those guys. Who are you trying to prove that you belong? Like, in this world, the only person that it matters that believes that you deserve to be somewhere is yourself. I grew up my entire life with people telling me I didn't belong on a football field. I didn't belong on a baseball diamond. I was big for nothing. I was weak, soft. And you know what? All I've done my entire life is prove people wrong. The only one that ever had to believe in me was me. So you know what? You can get pissed off about comments that people make. But no matter what you do, people are going to talk. Like I said before, I got people talking shit about my fight. People that would never have the stones to do what I do. Did I make some choice comments about that other team in this baseball league? Yeah. Do I believe that most of them were based in fact? Yeah. But you know what? There's other teams in the league that feel the same way. We were asked specifically how we lost 2 games to you guys. Because people generally see you guys as not the best team. The only thing you guys need to do is believe in yourselves. Who gives a shit if the entire league looks at you and says you guys suck if you win? Because you know what? That was us. That was us for a long time. Oh, New Era's not that good. Oh, that team's a bunch of scrubs and nobody's an assholes that nobody wants and nobody wants to play with. We were a team of misfits that nobody wanted. We were a team of dudes that weren't that good, weren't that talented, were has-beens, never wers. Oh, this guy's pitching. He was never a pitcher. He was an outfielder in college. Oh, that guy, that kid's arm is shot. He's washed up. Oh, that kid's not that good. That was the story of our lives. You know what? The only people who believed in us were us. And you know what? For 2 years, we shoved it up people's asses. You know why? Because we said, fuck you, we don't care what you think. It's about us. It's about me. I'm the one that at 30 years old still believes that I belong on a football field. I belong on a baseball diamond. I belong in a cage. That's it. People are going to tell you all the time that you're not good enough, that you shouldn't be there, that you don't belong. You know what? Instead of pissing and bitching and moaning and begging for people to talk you up, oh, they played so well and they beat us. You know you played well. We made mistakes that you made us pay for, and you beat us. Why do I have to tell you that you played well? If you don't know you played well, what are you looking at? And that's the line of baseball. That's the line of that conversation. We're going to stem this into real life now. If you live your life looking for people to talk you up and to verify things that you should feel about yourself, you're going to have a long, hard life. Everywhere you turn, people are going to try to hold you down, try to keep you back, because either they're threatened by you, they're intimidated by you, they have delusions of self-grandeur. And there's any numbers of reasons that people are going to hold you back, hold you down, and talk down to you. Any number. It could be anything. The things that I said in the past, I quoted somebody else. I also was talking about actual facts. Things that are actually true. I'm not just out here talking shit to talk shit. You want me to be out here to talk shit, I will. I don't understand why you need validation from everybody else if you know you're good. I know I'm a damn good hitter. That's why it doesn't bother me all the times that people have talked shit about it. You know, last year I struggled at the plate. And this same dude who's all up in arms about the things that I've said, talked plenty of shit about me and the way I hit last year. The way, like, the fact that I struggled in Cooperstown when I went with him. Bother me? It sucks. But was I sitting there, like, begging for him to acknowledge the fact that I'm a good hitter? No. You know why? Because I'm a good hitter. That's the end of that. You shouldn't need people to tell you that you're good at something if you yourself know you're good. Because you know what? At the end of the day, the only thing that matters is what goes on your gravestone. Your name. Who you are and who you believe yourself to be. Because if you don't believe you're something, you're not going to act in such a way. If you don't believe you're a good ball player, you're not going to act like a good ball player. You're not going to be a good ball player. If you don't think you're smart, you're not going to act smart, and you're not going to do intelligent things. And in turn, you're going to not be smart. If you believe yourself to be intelligent, and you act in such a way, and you perceive yourself in such a way, the world only treats you the way you allow yourself to be treated. If you allow yourself to be treated like a doormat, then you're a doormat. But if you know you're better than being a doormat, and you don't let the world treat you like a doormat, you're not going to be a doormat. You see how that works? You see the line of progression here? So why do you need me to tell you that you're good? Why do you need this person to say that you're smart, or that person to say that you're this, or this person to say that you're that, or any of these people to tell anybody but yourself that you're what the fuck you want to be? I don't get it. I don't understand your need for people to stand up and pat you on the back and powder your balls and tell you you're fantastic. You want that? Go get a fucking participation trophy. That's what that is. I showed up today, so I deserve something. I put a uniform on, so I'm good at what I do. Bullshit. You're good at what you do because you're good at what you do. You are who you are because of the way you are and act. You want to be somebody? Act the goddamn part. Don't just talk about it, be about it. Told you guys today was going to be fueled by the rage. A lot going on. I know I'm all over the place. I know there's a lot of baseball talking here, so I'm going to keep this segment a little short because I'm kind of running out of gas on it. Whew. Be your goddamn self and be good at it. Because there ain't nobody that can be you but you. Alright guys, here we are concluding. We're wrapping up episode 6. It's finally here. We're back. Okay. What the fuck is that? So, some things I got working going forward. I am in the process of procuring all of the necessary items for an actual talk show style podcast. I have some ideas in mind. Things I try to stay off of on here. The big one that I do talk sports, but not in a sports kind of way. It's going to be kind of a sports podcast talk show with a couple buddies of mine. They're on board to give it a shot and see what we can do. It'll be me and 2 of my buddies and a potential guest star of some kind. We're going to talk everything from Buffalo sports to pro sports to, who knows, maybe even some amateur bullshit that we just decided to discuss that day. But, I'm working on getting the equipment needed to do that. Shout out to my boy Russ from the Closed Fist, who's been helping me kind of pick and choose things. Jordan Hill helping me out, finding a thing or two here or there also. I got 2 of the big pieces coming. I'm going to have to pick up some mics and some cords, and we're going to be pretty close to being off the ground. That being said, also, Joz of Life at gmail.com, Joz of Life 25 at gmail.com possibly. That's how long it's been. I'm going to put it down here right now. See it? There it is. Shoot me an email, answer me questions. I had somebody tell me after my last episode they commented to make my bed. So I made my bed. Keep commenting, keep following, share the shit out of this stuff. More things coming. Like I said, I'll keep you guys posted on Lancaster and how my boys are doing. Hopefully chasing our 4th Section 6 sectional title. In doing so, if we do that, hopefully then going on to our first ever Far West Regional and the state semifinals. How fucking cool would that be? Other things, any of my friends out there who are Lancaster baseball alumni, we now have a booster club that's up and running. They're doing some great things. They have big plans. They want to give us a marquee field, possibly turfing the high school, turning the field at Westwood into what that field could and should have been for years, being a premier, almost, I don't want to call it a stadium, but like a premier elite field in this area. You can check out different places, find our schedule, come to our games for the high school and for the New Era boys. Shout out to my flag football guys. Great season in the books. Both the, whatever you want to call us, the Transit, the Morningwood, whatever the hell I named us prior to the Route 78 Savages, whatever the fuck you want to call us, and the boys from the Buffalo Braves. Looking at possibly doing some outdoor tournaments with those boys, which can get a little more physical than we can inside, and I'm looking forward to that because everybody knows a little lunatic like me likes getting popped in the mouth. Send me questions, comments, concerns, anything you guys want me to talk about, because that was one of the other things is for a while sometimes I struggle finding things to talk about. That's why there's 2 personal things going on in this one, because I'm not talking politics. I'm not talking what's going on out there politically, because that's just a wormhole I don't want to open. And unfortunately that's a lot of what dominates everybody's timeline right now, and I'm just trying to figure out things to talk about in life. So feel free to suggest things. Please send me an email, comment on my videos, share it, like it, tweet it, snap it, gram it, cram it. I don't know. All right, guys. I'm the Nickel City Nightmare. Still, win, lose, or draw, the Nickel City Nightmare, Derek Joswiak. This is my bedroom. This is the Joz of Life. Episode 6 is in the books. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you guys next time.